I'm Ms Hearn. Let's get started.
So let's talk about slope. So slopes can take on any value. Slopes are referring to the steepness and the direction of a line. A slope of 0 is what a horizontal line has. An infinite slope or undefined slope is what a vertical line has. And everything else is somewhere in between there. So, but one thing's for sure, if you're have a slope that is negative, what's that telling us? It's telling us that the line is falling. And by the way, whenever we talk about the behavior of a graph, we always read graphs from left to right, just like we read a book. Okay, we read graphs from left to right, because the x values go from smallest negatives to largest positives from left to right. Okay, so a negative slope over at this side of 0, your line is going to look something like this. If you have a positive slope, then your line is going to look something like this. The line on the left we call, we say is decreasing, and the line on the right is increasing. Okay. So now slope is always indicated with the letter M. So as we discuss slope and how to use slopes, you're going to see me write M a lot. And I never use M for, well, not never, but usually don't ever use M for anything besides slope. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, and slopes can be found in different ways depending on the information that was given. So one of the ways to find a slope is if you're given 2 points on a line, you can use the slope formula. Slope equals rise over run, which is the change in the y over the change in the x. So you have to find the difference in the y values over the difference in the x value. So as an example, question, Alexandra?
Yeah, I wanted to know, okay, let's say you have a graph and you have the your 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know which one would be the first one?
Excellent question. It actually doesn't matter. Let me go ahead and demonstrate for you on this particular problem that we can work it either way, and we're going to still come to the same conclusion, okay? In this one, it says find the slope of the line containing the points 3, 2, and 9, 4. So what I'm going to do is using this idea, x1, y1, x2, y2, that's how you get the slope. I'm going to say, okay, suppose that x1, y1 is referring to the point 3, 2, and x2, y2 is referring to the point 9, 4. Then our slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Just want to emphasize, by the way, these are subscripts, not exponents. So this is just a way of saying the first x coordinate and the second x coordinate. The first y coordinate and the second y coordinate has no effect on the calculation. It's just a different variable. All right, so this is going to be 9 for y2. I'm sorry, not 9. 4 for y2 minus 2 for y1 over, and then 9 for x2 minus 3 for x1. So that's going to be 2 over 6, which reduces, we should always reduce fractions to lowest terms. So that reduces to 1/3. What this is telling us is that this graph is going to go up 1 unit every time it goes to the right 3 units. Because remember, this top number is the rise, which is up and down. That's the y, the change in the y. And the bottom number is the run, horizontally, how much change. If you go 3 units to the right, then you're going to go 1 unit up. So without actually drawing the graph, you can imagine what I'm saying, 3 units to the right, 1 unit up. So we're going to have a line that looks like this. That type of a slope. So it's not a very steep slope. Okay, it's kind of a shallow slope. All right, now to address your question, let's look at what if I decided that my x1, y1 was 9, 4, and my x2, y2 I'm going to let be 3, 2. Plugging into the same formula, what are we going to get? Y2, excuse me, would be 2 minus y1, which is 4, over x2 would be 3 minus x1, which is 9. So that's going to be negative 2 over negative 6. Negative divided by negative is a positive. But before I change it to a positive, I'm going to leave it as negative 1 over negative 3. I'm just going to point out that this also means that every time you go down 1 unit, you're going to go to the left 3 units, which makes sense because let's go back up here to this little graph I drew. If I go down 1 and over to the left 3, I get back to the point where I started. But the slope we would not write as negative 1 over negative 3. We would simplify it as much as possible, and we'd say 1/3. So we'd get the same answer either way.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. That helps other students to find the video.